Some Magic Foundation's Jumpstart anime cards continue to get cheaper this week, plus much more on this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Their annual Black Friday sale is going on now through Saturday, December 7th. You can pre-order Innistrad Remastered products or find any number of other great deals on items both Magic related and otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Just look in the description or the comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Like I said in the cold open, we do have some of the Magic Foundation's Jumpstart anime cards on the list this week since more and more copies are getting into circulation, but there are other cards to discuss too. Remember, when we say cold cards, we mean cards that are going down in price, not necessarily cards that are seeing less play. As always, our list is based on two things: the percentage decrease in the value of the cards, but also we want to see a true decrease in the number of sales from week to week as well. Quickly before we get into the top 10, I do want to say thank you to one of our silver patrons, and that is Cade Browning. Cade, thank you for all your support on Patreon. It does mean the world. Could not do this without viewers like yourself. Truly thank you, Cade, for everything. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the top 10. Coming in at number 10 is Frontline Heroism, down $1.06 to $3.44. That's a 24% decrease. Lots of Magic Foundation's Jumpstart packs are being cracked now, so supply is catching up with demand in many cases. Additionally, this card isn't seeing all that much play. It can show up in a few different commander builds, like Caltagirone Grinder for example, but ultimately there has not been too much demand for Frontline Heroism out of the gate. Number 9 is Windbrisk Raptor, down $1.07 to $3.46. That's a 24% decrease. You might remember a few weeks ago the Shadowmoor rare that has yet to be reprinted spiked and made it onto the hot list. I was able to use my one per video since Shadowmoor came out during a time when there was a recession in the game, so less packs were cracked. Due to the lower circulation, many times when there is attention on a rare from that set, the card tends to spike, especially if there is no other printing of it. So why was there attention on Windbrisk Raptor then? Well, first off, we got a lot of bird support from Bloomburrow, and this card had seen a little bit of increased commander play for a short period of time around Castrol the Windcrested. Then when Magic Foundations was being previewed, some speculators noticed the Life Gain Matters cards that were coming from both the main set as well as the Jumpstart set, and they decided to pick up copies of this card, which led to its spike. The problem was, once the set came out, there was no demand for the card, and here we are. It's moving down as speculators try to dump the inventory they picked up a few weeks ago. Number 8 is Artist Talent, down $1.27 to $4.72. That's a 21% decrease. This was one of the hottest cards from Bloomburrow because of all the play it's been seeing. Pioneer was the format that was pushing the price the most when this spiked, and it's still being played there in the popular Is It Phoenix builds, plus sometimes you see it in Hidden Strengths. In Modern, it's in Ruby Storm. In fact, Bryant Cook made a video about that deck a few weeks ago on the Epic Storm YouTube channel, which brought some attention to Artist Talent at the time. The card even gets played in Legacy Riddlesmith combo, and it's still seeing commander play in a variety of builds, including some popular new ones. Some players grabbed it to upgrade the Duskmourn Endless Punishment commander deck, while others have put it in fresh builds around the front-facing commander from there, Velgavoth Harrower of Souls. Artist Talent is also appearing in builds around a couple of the Marvel Secret Lair cards, Storm, Force of Nature, and Wolverine, Best There Is. But even with all that gameplay, the card is still trending down. Why? Well, a few weeks ago, speculators were jumping on this card because of the spell-slinging theme in the Is It Colors showcase during the Magic Foundation's previews. Now that the set is out, we're seeing that Artist Talent really isn't getting much standard play to speak of, so now speculators are trying to dump the copies they accumulated. Number 7 is Necron Deathmark. It goes down $1.57 to $5.07. That's a 24% decrease. This is from the Warhammer 40k Necron Dynasties commander deck. The two commander builds where you see this the most are around a couple other cards from its precon: Imhotep the Stormlord and Zarek the Silent King. Recently, this card got hot though because of Duskmourn. Commander players started putting it in builds around a card found in the Death Toll commander deck, Renmaw Creaking Nest. Necron Deathmark added value to those decks since it's both an artifact as well as a creature. It still sees play in those builds, but time marches on and the market has turned its attention to other things with the release of Magic Foundations. So Necron Deathmark retracts a little this week, but it's still higher in price than it was before the spike occurred a few weeks ago. Number 6, Gornog, the Red Reaper, down $1.72 to $6.53. That's a 21% decrease. This is one of the anime cards from Magic Foundation's Jumpstart. It's seeing a good amount of commander play and has quickly become a fairly popular commander. You see it in the 99 of some builds there too, like Nagila the Blade Blossom for example, but a lot of packs of Magic Foundation's Jumpstart are being opened, so supply is starting to catch up with demand. Because of that, Gornog moves down some this week. Before we get to our top 5, just a quick reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Their annual Black Friday sale is going on now through Saturday, December 7th. You can pre-order Innistrad Remastered products there, or find any number of other great deals on items both Magic related and otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States, and if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or comment section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is Wave Goodbye. It goes down $1.86 to $5.83. That's a 24% decrease. This is from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Explorers of the Deep Commander deck. The most popular deck that runs this currently is around the front-facing commander from its precon, Hackball of the Surging Soul. But Wave Goodbye has been creeping up recently because of speculation that occurred back when Duskmourn was coming out and when Magic Foundations was being previewed. It is appearing in commander decks around 2 new cards from Magic Foundations, Zimone Paradox Sculptor from the main set, and Nerdiv Devious Diver from Jumpstart. However, Wave Goodbye is not seeing the amount of play that some thought it would, so it is retracting some this week. But like Necron Deathmark, which we saw earlier, it's still more expensive than it was before the spike began in September. Moving up 5 spots this week to number 4 is Pol Jamar Illusionist. It goes down $3.80 to $8.54. That's a 31% decrease. Here's another Magic Foundation's Jumpstart anime card trending down. This one suffers from a combination of lots of copies getting out there and not a ton of interest when it comes to gameplay. Some have used it as a commander and some are putting it in Anella Archmage Ritualist decks, but considering Pol Jamar's price point when it was released, it's not too surprising to see this drop. Down 1 spot this week to number 3, Burgone, Soldier of Miletus, down $4.18 to $5.40. That's a 44% decrease. This Magic Foundation's Jumpstart anime card does not seem to be gaining much traction yet. I'm seeing it as a commander in some deck lists, but really not all that many. Combine that with the fact that lots of packs are being cracked, and the card had a high price point when it was released, all leads to, you guessed it, a big price drop for a second week in a row. Up 2 spots this week to number 2 is Nerdiv Devious Diver, down $4.19 to $8. That's a 34% decrease. In a shocking turn of events, we have another Magic Foundation's Jumpstart anime card losing value. Again, lots of packs are being opened, and these cards had a ton of hype prior to the release. Nerdiv, like some of the other cards we've seen today, had a very high price point when it was released that it just couldn't maintain. With that being said, this card is seeing a fair amount of commander play. Mill cards and graveyard interactions always find their audience. This one is appearing as a commander, and I'm seeing it in the 99 around Muldrotha the Gravetide at times as well. And finally, up 5 spots this week to number 1, Hurska Sweet Tooth, down $6.04 to $11.69. That's a 34% decrease. Not a surprise that number 1 is a Magic Foundation's Jumpstart anime card. There are players that love food tokens as well as life gain strategies, and this card had a big price tag when it came out. However, it just hasn't seemed to hit like some thought it might. There are other cards out there that do the same type of thing. I am seeing a few commander deck lists built around it, but not really all that many. So Hurska continues to move down due to an influx of copies and a lack of interest. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, but if you missed yesterday's episode, you need to go back and check that out because we looked at the top 10 hot cards of the week. Really interesting list this week, actually. Until next time though, hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.